It won't be long before we are back meeting again in person in this room, the first time that those who represent you have done so in over a year. During that time, Louth Town Council have continued their hard work, endeavouring to make our town a better place for everyone to live, work and do business. All of this has of course taken place against the backdrop of the coronavirus pandemic. Even though many aspects of all of our lives have been in some form of suspended animation for well over a year now, the world does of course keep revolving, and Louth Town Council has adapted to revolve with it. I should know, I've been there throughout. My name is Darren Hobson and I am extremely proud to be able to say that I am Mayor of our wonderful town of Louth, and this is my very first vlog. To say that the last, 15 months or so have been out of the ordinary could be perhaps the biggest understatement that any of us could make. We've all had to learn new ways of adapting and dealing with new demands and new expectations and new routines. We've all been challenged in so many ways. One thing that's also new from Louth Town Council's point of view, at least for those of us of a slightly younger generation, as the person who occupies this chair at council meetings is doing so again the following year. For the first time in 65 years, Louth will have the same person serving as mayor 2 consecutive years. The last time that happened was way back here in 1956 when Albert Ernest Maxim was mayor. Councillor Maxey, and here he is, back then was serving as mayor for the 6th and final time, having served the year before as well. Now, from looking at our records, it was actually quite commonplace up until that point for the same person to serve more than 1 year at a time. Now, I don't know why it's taken more than 60 years for it to happen, and I dare say it wouldn't have happened again had it not been for coronavirus, you know, the thorn in our sides for the last year or so. Several weeks ago at one of our Zoom meetings, you know, the video conferencing app that last February hardly anyone had heard of, but by April we were all purporting to be experts at using. Anyway, it came to that time of year again when the town council would choose who it would like to serve as mayor for the forthcoming year. Given that my mayoral year, which shouldn't have actually been starting until now under normal circumstances, had been, shall we say, rather quiet, my fellow colleagues at the town council decided to select me again for this next year. I am hopeful and confident that the next 12 months will be far more productive than the last. That said, the Mayoress and I thoroughly enjoyed everything that we were given the opportunity to do over the last year, and we will look forward to doing everything to the very best of our ability in the year ahead. Now, speaking of those Zoom meetings that Louth Town Council, like pretty much every other local authority up and down the country, had to get used to in order to make business continue to happen, it was good to be able to connect with colleagues on a regular basis, but nothing can ever really be an effective replacement for that face-to-face contact. With the legislation that allowed for remote meetings to legally take place coming to an end recently, alongside the gradual lifting of restrictions, we look towards the future. From next month, we'll be getting back together in this room. Distances have been measured, procedures have been put in place to make sure that everyone's health and safety of those attending is maintained. have no doubt that there will be some challenges during those first few in-person meetings later this summer. Some things will work, some things may need tweaking. I'm sure that there'll be some colleagues who may be somewhat apprehensive about coming into a room and sharing it with 20 or so other people. One thing we can be assured of is that the staff here at the Sessions House are working hard to mitigate risks and make sure that everything is as safe as it possibly can be. There are planning applications to review, facilities to manage and finances that need to be handled. Whilst these things have been managed well remotely for months, I'm sure that my colleagues who are chairing various committees of the Council will help to ensure that discussions and decision making gets back to something resembling what we always used to take for granted. So we're getting ready to begin our council meetings once again, and I'm looking forward to getting out into our fabulous town and have the opportunity to meet people from all walks of life, those who give their time freely for good causes, the people who are the lifeblood of our fantastic community, to see how our brilliant local independent businesses are getting on, and most importantly, promoting our gem of a town, not just locally, but across Lincolnshire. I'm hoping that you will join me as I try and give you an insight into how our council works over the months ahead, and I look forward to sharing with you some of my experiences, occasions and events that I'm asked to be part of during my mayoral year. So let's see what my second year as Mayor of Louth has in store. Thank you for watching, see you again soon.